おいおい、なんて目を。これは、俺だ。
もう見てないから言わないで。
ずっと見ていたから。二人の会話も。
ほら、やっぱり傷がある。
ああ、ちょっとね。
Last time on Tomodachi Game, as the fourth round began, 3 revealing cards were laid out. Manabu read the first card with intrigue, revealing Makoto's unusual bathing habits. Yuichi's card caused a stir as it exposed his unhygienic past, while the third card left the group shocked to discover Shiho's plastic surgery. In the 5th period, there is only one submission and it turns out to be a doozy. Manabu, with a hint of excitement in his voice, reveals that Yutari engaged in compensated dating during her junior high years. Upon hearing this shocking news, Yutari's emotions erupt as she starts to scream and cry, begging Shio to explain why she wrote it down when she was the only one who knew. It's a moment of utter chaos, and the tension in the room is palpable. Makoto, who is still trying to process the information, realizes that Yutari must have sold her body to adult men. He's surprised that someone who isn't a virgin looks so innocent. However, before he can say anything else, Tenji lashes out at him, punching him in the face and telling him to shut up. It's clear that emotions are running high and everyone is on edge. In an effort to defuse the situation, Tenji turns to Yuichi, asking him to look after Yutari and keep her company. Meanwhile, the god votes are counted and Yutari comes out on top, securing the coveted first place position. The rest of the players are left in her wake, moving only 1 space each. Manabu takes the opportunity to remind everyone of the current standings, with Shiho leading the pack with an impressive 13 spaces, and Tenji lagging behind with a measly 5 spaces. He then drops a bombshell, revealing that whoever reaches the goal first will be able to end the game, but they'll also be burdened with everyone else's debt, which currently stands at a staggering 5.5 million yen. Yutari confides in Yuichi, revealing that she was in desperate need of money and that her current situation of being bullied pales in comparison to what she endured in junior high. She recalls how she was left to suffer alone with no one coming to her aid. In order to stop the bullying, she resorted to giving money to her tormentors, which ultimately resulted in them being nicer to her. With no other options left, Yutari found herself going on a paid date with an adult man. Their initial outings consisted of simple activities such as going out to dinner and exploring various places. However, things took a turn when the man expressed a desire for her to dress up in different outfits and take pictures. Yutari agreed, but things quickly became uncomfortable when the man wanted to touch her. Overwhelmed with fear, Yutari fled the scene, insisting that her story was true and that she remains a virgin. What a shocking revelation! Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Which anime do you think has the best soundtrack? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. And now, back to the recap. The gods refuse to believe her account, but Yutari stands firm in her truth, pleading with Yuichi not to abandon her. As the group debates the importance of a girl's virginity, Tsukino shares her thoughts, half-jokingly explaining that those who consider themselves pure often view those who can't live up to their standards as being filthy and trash-like. However, Yuichi's response is simple and unwavering. He will stand by Yutari no matter what. He whispers something to her, leaving the rest of the group convinced that he just confessed his love for her. Tsukino, who is surprised to see Yutari unfazed by the confession, concludes that Yuichi must be aware of his own impurity and that something significant must have happened in his past. Ready to move forward, Yutari expresses her desire to stay close to Yuichi and stay away from Shio. Tenji is pondering whether Shio was aware of Yutari's secret, and Shio affirms that she did know, but not everything. Soon after starting high school, Shio witnessed Yutari being confronted by students from another school. Without hesitation, she sprang into action and protected Yutari from harm. However, one of the boys made a startling revelation, informing Shio that Yutari was involved in compensated dating. This information deeply concerned Shio, but she made a promise to Yutari to keep her secret safe, vowing never to tell a soul. Tenji trusts Shio's words completely, knowing her to be a faithful and trustworthy friend. As the situation between the group of friends continues to escalate, Tsukino begins to suspect that someone is trying to destroy their relationship. This is most likely the reason why the Tomodachi game was initiated in the first place. Maria suggests that Makoto may be the most suspicious, as he has no need for money and may be envious of Shio's bond with Yuichi. Meanwhile, Tenji's prior knowledge of Shio's crush on Yuichi and her plastic surgery also raises suspicion. After much consideration, they conclude that Shio herself may be the most suspicious. She knows all of their secrets and could even speak ill of herself to throw them off her trail. While Yuichi cannot be ruled out entirely, Yutari seems the least likely culprit in this game of deceit and betrayal. A distorted voice echoes through the hall, menacingly declaring that it wants the friends to suffer even more. The voice brazenly admits to stealing the money, claiming that it's all part of its twisted plan. Earlier in the day, during an independent study period, Shio gathers the money and prepares to deliver it to the teacher. But, as fate would have it, a classmate tells her that another teacher is looking for her in the media room. Despite the fact that this is in the opposite direction of where she needs to go, Shio decides to heed the call and heads to the media room. Meanwhile, Makoto is in a bind, desperately trying to finish his homework before class. He asks another student if he can copy their work, but they suggest that he can ask Yuichi instead. Unfortunately, Makoto is informed that Yuichi has been working overtime and is probably sleeping right now. Undeterred, Makoto takes matters into his own hands and starts copying the homework at his desk. Little do they know, a sinister presence is lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. The mysterious figure approaches Shio's locker, intent on stealing the money. In a cruel twist of fate, the thief collides with Yutari, causing her belongings to scatter on the floor. As she hastily collects her things, Yutari realizes that the perpetrator must have seen her artwork. She nervously explains that she wants to be a professional manga artist someday, hoping to divert attention from the stolen money. The thief, however, is not fooled. With a cold and calculated demeanor, the voice insists that no harm will come to them. Yutari notices a small cut under the thief's eye, likely caused by her pen. Despite her concern, the thief brushes it off, claiming that it's nothing to worry about. As Tenji observes Makoto's reaction to his nasty face, he begins to wonder if Makoto's interest in Shio has dwindled because of her plastic surgery. Despite this thought, Tenji knows the truth about Shio's surgery, which was not for cosmetic purposes, but rather to cover a scar she got in junior high. As he continues to reveal his secret knowledge, Tenji discloses that he has been keeping a watchful eye on Shio and even knows where she keeps her locker's spare key. In fact, he has gifted her an anti-theft alarm keychain that doubles as a listening device, allowing him to eavesdrop on every personal conversation. He even knows about Yutari's compensated dating secret, which he discovered through his spying. What else is Tenji hiding? Is he the true mastermind behind the games? Find out on our next recap of Tomodachi Game.